Good morning, everybody. So this is a video that I've been meaning to put out for a while. This is our top car museums and personal collections that we have gone to over the last 4 years. Now, some of these are not open to the public, and that's why I wanted to show them. Some are like the Revs Museum in Naples, which I don't know if it's still open to the public or not. I don't even know if it's still there because it's in Naples, Florida, and they had big hurricanes. But I mean, that collection of race cars and Porsches and cars from the early 100s, all the race cars, and it has everything. It's outstanding. I mean, it has one of the original Corvettes, one of the original 5 Grand Sports Corvettes from 1963 that's worth more than most museums' whole collections. So that's pretty cool. We've got some private collections we're going to visit. A lot of museums around the north, from Pennsylvania down to Florida. Let's put it that way. North Carolina, the Georgia, Tennessee. A lot of places we've been to that I think you guys would enjoy seeing. So they're not really, there's nothing really in order because I can't really rate the museum at Daytona International Speedway with the place in Venice. Now, some of these are not museums. Some of these are car collections. Some of these are just places that have a ton of classic cars for sale, like the one down in Bradenton, the one in Venice, Streetside Classics. Cam, I mean, I have to include Cam for a great collection. Cam is the car auto mall, classic car auto mall up in Pennsylvania near Harrisburg. It's right off the turnpike up there, but it has almost 10,000 cars there, and they're open every day. Plus, they have car shows and everything else. Now, yeah, there's a lot of barn finds in there too. These are cars that people put there for sale. Some they buy for sale, but there are so many historic cars there that, and you can go in for free. We put up like 10 videos of that place. So you have all kinds of places that are not just somebody's house that might have 50 cars. It might be a shop like Streetside Classics or Cam or some of the other places that we go to. It could be a racetrack that's primary business is racing, but for the most part, there's also a museum there, or they're just a standard museum, or like Dezerland, which is an old mall, again, another mall in Orlando that has displays of everything from movie cars to bicycle displays. I mean, and they have another 8,000 or 9,000 cars there. So I'm just going to take you on a trip of all my favorite places, all these cool collections. I'm putting down the video. You'll see the number. There might be a video, and you'll see how many videos. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 videos. Sometimes there's 10 videos of these places. But at least if you're new to the channel and you want to check these out, go ahead, check them out. But I'll tell you where they are, tell you what city they are, what state they're in, and they're really, really cool. So I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. It's a long video, but it's fun. All right, since football season's over, what else you got to do? So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. All right, guys, we are at the Revs Museum in Naples, Florida. And if you saw part 1, we had a car show here. And we had everything from winged cars to 73 second generation Camaros to F1 cars to Porsches, historical racing Porsches, all kinds of stuff outside. Now we're going to go inside the museum So come with me, check the museum out. I've never been, and here we go. All right, guys, guess where I am right now? Any clue? Any clue where I am right now? No clue at all, right? Well, watch this video and find out. It's a pretty cool place. All right, so we are in Lexington, North Carolina, and this is RCR, Richard Childress Racing. This is their corporate headquarters. There's their flags. It's a Saturday. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people here. I'm hoping they're open. Look, couple Dale Earnhardt cars are in here. So if any of you guys have not been here, or if you wish you could have been here, this is actually the original racing office and stuff. So here you've got the teardown room, you've got the engine building room here. So this was the original offices down here. So this is where Dale Earnhardt and Richard Childress used to come. And that is the office. Now, if you guys want to see what's inside a transporter, so this is what the cars look like without the bodies put on. And this is where they would fabricate them. They're not going to fabricate them anymore with the new gen cars starting in 2022. All this fabrication goes away because they're all going to use the same basic car. Check out this one, Big Daddy Don Garlits, his Hemi speeds. And if you think you got guts, look at this. Here's Swamp Rat 10 from 1965 to 67. This. What is this? Jocko Enterprises, Clay Smith cams, Morham Ferguson Jackson Foss Streamliner, 1964. Here's your transmission. Where do you put your feet? Over? I guess you put your feet over the axle. Unbelievable. Here's the Coors, Tom Mongoose McEwen. This is his Coors car from 1976 to 1982. Funny car. Hey guys, guess where I'm at? Still in Ocala, Florida. It's the week of Thanksgiving, so I'm still on the road, heading home for Thanksgiving. But I've driven past this place on I-75 my whole life, and I have never ever stopped. But today we stopped, and notice, oh, not the A7 Corsair, the big sign, Big Daddy Don Garlits Museum. Hey everybody, it is a beautiful day here in South Florida, and I'm in Venice, Florida, where Venice Beach, known for its gorgeous beaches and shark's teeth down at the surf. But we are at a place called Ideal Classic Cars right here. You're greeted by superheroes. Love the couches. So you have a Batman couch. You've got a couple old couches here. A lot of these old gas things. And like I said, everything here is for sale. So if you see something, you let me know. So here's some gorgeous cars. See where it says gate 40? So that would probably be to get on the movie set campus. But there's the Monkey's car. Look at that. I love in the back how they took the seats out and then took the trunk out and they put a seat in the trunk. And the other funny thing is, I don't think this is this blower. This blower is not, I don't think, and this is just, you guys can correct me if you're wrong, but if you look closely, I don't think this blower is actually connected to the engine. I think that's just like a big air cleaner, which would make sense, because if it was a big air cleaner, that car they could drive and it really wouldn't be too big of a deal. You know, good gas mileage would be dependable, a lot more dependable than having a 671 blower sticking on the hood. And you don't see any of the belts and stuff, so everything is hidden. So I would almost imagine that is probably only an air cleaner. And then this here is the Green Hornet car. Now this, I believe, may only be from the movie. I don't know if this is from the TV show or the movie, but it's got the missiles down there, the guns. Now we have some props from Star Wars. I don't know if these are actual ones used in a movie or if they are actually props that they made. They look like movie props. Check these cars out. So we're in Kyle Busch Racing in his world headquarters here. And he's got all his cars out front. His trophies. You can see all the Toyotas out there, the whole shop. They're all, look at all that stuff. And this is the 2015 car right here. It's Champions Series. All his trophies. And then you have all these cars here. So you have all different cars that he has. And his truck. This was his chassis from here. Hey guys, we're here at NPD's world headquarters and we're going to be taking a tour of their private collection of cars. So I hope you guys will enjoy our tour.
you'll see all the cars. I think there's about 500 or 400 of them back there, and we'll go check those out. And feel free to leave comments in the comment section. Please subscribe and enjoy the tour. It's Thanksgiving week 2021, and these guys were really nice to let us come in on a rainy Monday and shoot video and have the whole area to ourselves. So I want to thank NPD for doing that. And so here's part one. We actually have 4 or 5 videos. We'll be shooting a lot, so check out what we have. And like I said, please subscribe, and here we go. Hey guys, so I just talked with a gentleman named Colin, who is the marketing person for NPD, National Part Depot. And if you could tell, look at this. This is only part of the collection here at National Parts Depot. And we're gonna go around and look at a lot of these cars. And if you wonder why or how they come up with the parts to make sure that parts work or fit or anything, well, it's because they actually have the cars here. They have a huge collection, and we're going to take a look at a lot of them today, and we'll take a look at a lot of them this week. So stay tuned. If we don't get to it this video, look for another. We'll have probably a couple videos here, because I'd like to look at some of these cars, and maybe we'll split them up into like Mustangs and Pontiacs. And so the collection is not just a collection where they just go and buy these cars. They do have a whole workshop back here where you could see they look at the parts. This is where they make catalogs. So they have to take the cars back here and look at the parts so that you guys know where to put the parts in, make sure parts fit correctly, do all the stuff with their catalogs. So they actually have a full area down here, which is cars that they're working on. So if we compare the 67, like I said, I'm not sure what year this was, but this one here is a 64. And this is a 64 500 XL, and I believe these are the same. They look the same. So these are probably 64s. So, and if you guys remember, we did that 64 race car clone Galaxy 500 a couple weeks ago. If you really like these cars, you should check out that 64 race car, the lightweight one that had it was literally built exactly like the 64s that had the fiberglass hoods and everything that were the factory race cars. And so if you like these, you got to check that out. But this one here in the black, that's one in a teal color. Like I said, the teal is a really cool color. So they have everything open. They got cars in the garages, they got cars in the midfield and everything else. So you get to see all kinds of stuff. They're not going to let me test drive this today. I'm just saying. I would, but they won't.
Very simple. Look at that.
Built by Richard Brault, Olin Hopes, Don Simmons. Now this is a bone stock first generation NASCAR race car right here. So this is one of my favorite displays. Mighty Mike Moran. All right, guys, so this is just the part that's open to the front. So this is open to the main drag in Gatlinburg. And I mean, you can see they got everything here. They even have a Flintstones mobile from the Flintstones movie here. This whole museum is about cars that appeared in movies. So we've got that. We have the Harley Davidson Fat Boy from Terminator 2 right here. This is the actual motorcycle from Terminator 2. Terminator. And it was a Harley Davidson Fat Boy. And we are going to continue upstairs. All right, say hi, April.
Hi.
Hey guys, so we are at the Tallahassee Automotive Museum, I think it's called. We'll find out exactly what it's called. But check out the BB King, IB King, California. Here's another. I don't even know what this is. This is like a trailer.
Oh yeah.
That hooks up to with a Cadillac front end. Look at this thing. Rockin' Caddy Daddy. Music video disc jockey. The Elvis Mobile. 57. This was not a Cadillac owned by Elvis. This was developed as a traveling Elvis themed DJ sound system from the 1990s to 2000s. Crazy, crazy. Look at this thing. Dude, people put a lot of work into this.
That's wild, isn't it?
That is insane. That is cool, and it has a trailer that goes with it. That's like a 73 Caddy back there with a 57 or 58 Caddy back end. And this looks like a, what, 75 Eldorado, 74? Crazy. And then what do we got here? 1800s covered wagon. So I'm talking, I guess that's the very first of the vehicles. And then we've got a rat rod right here. The 400 with a blown 400 on it. Nice. Model A 1930s rat rod. Very cool. Very cool. Insane. All right, time to go inside. Welcome to the Tucker Room. All right, guys, let's go inside and check this out. The Tallahassee Automobile Museum. Where? Oh, look at that gorgeous bike. All right, guys, let's find out. Rowan and Martin, the reason Pontiac and all got into this was Rowan and Martin, even though the TV show and stuff, they also road raced. They raced at the 24 Hours in Le Mans and everything else. They were really into racing. This Corvette actually, so there's a C6. So this Corvette here, which I believe is the 82, yep, 82 collector edition. I wanted one of these so bad when they were new, and I had a couple C3s. But I never had this one. I always thought that was such a beautiful, beautiful car.
I want that one because it matches my toaster.
This is the, April wants it not only because it was in Back to the Future, but it matches her toaster. So that's a DeLorean. Which, by the way, most people don't realize a stock DeLorean could barely hit 80 miles an hour, let alone 88 in the movie. They actually had to boost it. They didn't realize how slow those cars are. Contrary, the Ford GTs that you see up there, well, those things are slightly faster, let's just say. All right, so remember I was talking about the Cobra Jet. So this is a 71 Mustang Mach 1 Cobra Jet. So these things they only make about 30 or 40 of these a year. They are factory drag cars. And that's what this is. And you actually had to be a race car team to buy one. So I actually was just driving back to the interstate and saw this sign saying Barrett Classics Museum. So I don't know what that means. Or Bennett Classic Museum. Yep. Is that here?
That's here.
We've got the old jukebox here. And you can see this, the stuff here is just nostalgia as well as just cars. So obviously it wasn't going to be a museum, so they just brought the stuff over from the dealership that they had. So you have all the dealer models. These are dealer models. These aren't models that you make. These are ones that the dealers used to have to show people what they can get, because they wouldn't order a ton of cars at the time. And because it's a Ford, we got a whole bunch of the Ford stuff.
Yeah, should be good. Thank you. Yeah, take care.
The Mayberry squad car.
This was actually Don.
All right, for all you Blue Oval fans, we are in the museum right now. We tried to get somebody here to talk to us, but you know, the people that are volunteers, they're always afraid to talk. So we're just gonna have to do it ourselves. Anyway, so when you first come in, this is what you see. So they've got a couple really cool cars here. They've got, let's see, Cadillac Connection, Henry Ford. He worked at Cadillac, it says here. And so they have a 1908 Cadillac right here. Really nice. You guys know, I don't know too much about these, the first generation vehicles. Maybe you do, but these are not replicas. Nothing here is a replica. These are all actual cars, and these are cars that are from the collection, the Henry Ford collection. Alphabet cars. Let's see, Ford began production of the Model A in 1903 and continued through other alphabetical models, producing the Model T 5 years later. Now that's kind of funny to me, because honestly, I'll be 100 honest, I thought the Model T was the first one. I didn't know the Model A was the first one, but then that makes sense. So let's see, Model Ts. It says here that he was able, using the assembly line, he went from 25 cars a day to 1,000 cars a day in 1913. So it took 12 hours to make the first Ford cars, and then by 1913 it's saying it only took 13 to 93 minutes. Was one of the original off-road vehicles. And here's a little bit about when they went out there. Here's some of the cars here. I mean, could you imagine, I put it this way, I don't like going out in my four-wheel drive to the Everglades, and look what they're driving out through the Everglades. And they were camping out there. So it's just crazy how they took these cars out in the day. And you have all this. So there wasn't any paved roads that they're talking about here. And they just had all these giants. I mean, could you imagine Elon Musk taking Musk and Bezos, who are two of the biggest people in the world right now, and going out with an NBC crew and going camping in the Everglades, because it's basically what it was. So now this truck here, and here's a picture of it. So this was the very first specifically outfitted vehicle to accommodate more lavish items. So this vehicle was the food vehicle and held the camping supplies. So this is the very first Ford recreational vehicle. This is the very first Ford RV. It's a 1918 Ford Model T Roadster chuck wagon. So this made its first appearance in the Adriatic Mountains. I don't know, I guess that's how you say it. '52 Hudson Hornet stock car, the most successful car in the early days of NASCAR. And if you look at this, that's why they made that for the movie Cars. It was based on the fabulous Hudson Hornets that they would race at the beginning. So here's some awesome vehicles. We've got Rusty Wallace's final race car from 2005 right there. And then you've got this is the car, I believe, I want to say this is the one from Smokey Unix. So if you look at this car here, this is a Chevelle, but you probably recognize the paint job and everything on here because in Talladega Nights they also used the Chevelle painted this way. It was the dad character had a Chevelle similar to that. Hey, good morning guys. We are at Dezerland in Orlando off International Drive. And if this wall tells you what we're going to be seeing today, that gives you a hint of the collection we're going to go look at right now. So stay tuned.
Causing him to drive off the cliff. Now most people would assume, yeah, James Bond's in the clear. Right. Not for long, because then comes Naomi in the Jet Ranger copter back there.
Right.
So they have to get away. Well, this car comes with a very special feature. For those of you who are familiar with why this car looks so familiar, there's actually a video, it's also in the video game Grand Theft Auto 5, known as the Stromberg, where when it's in the water, it turns into the submersible wet Nelly. Now, when I mentioned there's no water line, that is because they actually drove this car into the ocean.
So this car
went into the water. So because it was completely submerged, there is no water line. But they did that to allow the transformation to go off with a hitch. Step back over, you can.
Yep.
But once it was in full transformation, in the full submersible format, the little rocket in the back launched through the water into the sky, blowing up the helicopter. Fun fact, the helicopter they actually blew up was a RC helicopter.
Okay. Yep, so if you guys remember this change here, he's got his periscope. For whatever I guess easiest to film if they just put louvers so you can't see inside or see anybody. Wow. What's that, machine guns on the front?
Yep. And the way that this is set up, it's designed to show you it going from the vehicle to the submersible wet Nelly, from quarter panel to quarter panel.
Right. And the wheels when they went up and then went down. Oh, very cool.
You have all the
jet drives underneath, or props.
Props back here.
Very cool. Is this one of the,
So they had 5 shells that showed the transformation of it going from the car to the submersible wet Nelly. Elon Musk does own shell number 1. This is actually a combination of shells number 2 to 5.
Okay. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much all the movie cars, except the tank and some other things that we'll go and look at. We find random. But if you like this video, number one, if you like this video, come to the museum. What's the
Dezerland Park.
Dezerland, D-E-Z.
D-E-Z-E-R-L-A-N-D.
Dezerland, D-E-Z-E-R-L-A-N-D.com. I think. But it's Dezerland. I'm going to put a link. Guys, this is like one of the best museums. It's number one, having someone like you that comes and walks people through. We have been museums from here to New York to Nashville, everywhere. You've seen a couple of them. And this is probably one of the most organized and interesting, and having real vehicles. I mean, I'll tell you right now, most of the museums we come into that say they're movie car museums are about as big as this room. And this thing is a whole mall. And we have seen some of the stuff here. I'm probably going to spend another 2 or 3 hours here going through the non-movie cars. But if you are somebody who loves movie cars or loves any kind of cars, they have everything here from Duesenbergs to muscle cars to little military, you name it. So you don't have to come for movies or anything else. And while you're here walking around, whoever you have watching can take the kids, because they got bumper cars, they got all kinds of arcades, bowling,
go-karts. We have a pinball pallets. This is another important section of ours. It's called pinball pallets.
As our American vans were.
So just when people are talking vans, they're usually in this world, they're usually talking a Dodge, Ford, a U.S. made, correct, U.S. manufacturer. Right. So, and that's why I guess you have Chevy, Ford, and Dodge up there.
Yep, we do.
And then, and you have everything. I see an Astro van there, right? Yeah, so
the '94 Astro van.
And then, but we started with this one, which we saw at the car show.
This is Panic in Detroit. This is a 1970 Carlisle.
And this one here is, when was this made and everything, kind of?
I found this van in Fort Myers, Florida, in 1990.
Wow.
The guy was working in AACA, Antique Auto Club Car Show, using it as a trailer. He was pulling it behind his motorhome, and it was full of tables and chairs and cooking accessories. And I knew the truck when I saw it immediately. I was there also working the show, and I made him an offer on the van. He decided he didn't really want to sell it, but a month later I got a phone call, and his wife told him it was time to clear out some stuff out of the garage.
He took a '69 Charger and made a Daytona. You know, the most car that Chrysler ever made was in 1970, and they made 492 Daytonas, but they made 1,972 Superbirds.
Right.
And the only reason they made a Superbird is because of Richard Petty.
Yep. Because he couldn't drive this.
A Dodge.
He wouldn't drive Dodge. He had to drive the Plymouth. And a couple things are different with these. Number one, these are built on the Charger, and the other one is on the Super B, right? Or the Roadrunner. Okay, so then you're gonna have a back that's rear. The wing is different.
Yeah, the wing is taller.
Okay, so you guys have one over there.
And
so
your Daytonas is shorter.
And the gas on the Daytona, the gas is there. But on the other ones, it's in the back. And then these all were hard tops without vinyl roofs, because these were done outside of, these were done by the secondary company. But when Dodge built the Superbird, and Dodge didn't want to spend the money, so that's
what Plymouth did was, they took a Roadrunner and made a Superbird out of it. And what they had to do was put a fiberglass cap in here to put that small bubble window in there.
Yeah, the filler here. That's why the windows.
So that's the reason they put the vinyl top to hide all that work right there.
And that guy, there's a guy, what is the guy? He lives out in, I think, Indianapolis or somewhere, that has a collection. That's all he collects is these. And he went over, he put them side by side. If you guys want to know the differences, go side by side, because a lot of people think the glass is the same. Glass is not.
Nothing is the same on a Superbird and a Daytona.
And even the glass for these, when people are trying to make repos, they're using Vega glass. They don't use the Superbird because it won't work.
Small, it won't work in there.
Yeah, and that's the same reason why also the vents are different on the front as well. So
yeah, these got the your part lights right here, while your Superbird got the part lights down here.
And then, is it this one that has the hole in it and the other one doesn't? Yeah. One of these has a hole.
Yeah, the Daytona. This one right here has a hole in it.
Okay.
The Daytona had a hole in your Superbird.
Right. And they just put them on there just because they look cool. Everybody thinks it was for tire balance or for braking.
No, it wasn't it. The reason they put them on there because of, you know, we got the 71 K&K car back there. It's the only car that's never been restored, and it'll tell you all about it. And what happened, they told NASCAR they put that on there because the tire was scrubbing. That ain't the reason they done it. They put it on there because of this whole front of this car is Bennett. And when that car was down on the ground, the wind had to go in there. It had to come out somewhere. So they used them right there for the wind to come out. And that's what put downforce on the front of it.
So it's just a way of cheating and getting some extra downforce.
Yeah. So this car right here we call a paint chip cooter. And that billboard right there hung in your Chrysler dealership in 1970, 71. Nobody had never produced a car, so we took a perfect good car, sent it to New Orleans, and the company called it Bond Factory. They built this car for us. So what they did, they put a white wrap on this car, then they painted all these colors on this car. So they built it just like that billboard.
Right.
The mag wheel, the funny pipe, the slick, half of a roll cage, half of one wheelie bar. Since we had a half of a billboard, we could only build a half of a car.
Right. And so this side is the other.
This side is the other part of the car.
Wow.
This is the true part of the car right here.
That would be fun to own, actually. It'd be fun to drive.
It is.
And if you're going to rob a bank, you rob it from this side, and then you drive past the cops with the other side. We never seen nobody go by. We seen some kind of psychedelic hippie car go by, but we didn't see.
All right, now I'm going to share something with you here. It's 25 colors on that car.
Right.
All right, Chrysler had 25 colors. They advertised every day, but Chrysler really had 28 colors.
Okay.
Instead of 25. It's 3 colors not on here. And the reason them 3 colors not on here, one of them came in the mid-year 70, the other 2 came in the mid-year 71. All right, the one that's not on there that came in the mid-year 70 is that pink right there. Chrysler only produced 2 of them. It's only 2 of them in the world.
Hey, good morning, guys. We are at Streetside Classics. It's a place down here in above Tampa. All right, so as you guys can see, we've got a bunch of vehicles to look at here. So we've got a bunch to look at. So I think we'll start with going around and looking at Fords. So we're going to do a walk around on the Fords, Shelbys, Fords, Cobras, that kind of stuff. Then we're going to walk around, we'll hit the Chevys, and then after that we'll hit the Mopars. So, all right. A Shell Valley Cobra replica here. This one has the 351 in it. Really pretty. This color, it's like almost changes. It's like a gold and a red that changes. So really nice. Is the 4-speed, 5-speed? 5-speed. It's got the fuel cell. And next to it, we've got another Cobra replica. This is the 67 Shelby Cobra replica with a 460 in it, 4-speed. And this one is sold. Really sweet Mustang. Even got air conditioning on this one. Obviously modified. And it's got the modified rear end on it as well. It's got a Shelby rear end put on it, grafted to it. It's an automatic, black interior. And that one is sold, folks. So you missed out on that one. Somebody put some fun into this one. All right. Another Mustang. Convertible. This is a really cool color. I don't think it's a standard color, but it's really beautiful. It's almost like a purple pink. It reminds me a lot of the Pink Panther cars of the Barracudas that came out back in 1970. Wood steering wheel. Automatic. Really, really pretty car. Where are we, and what is in that barn right there that is so famous that it had a song written about it, and it had a music video, one of the very first music videos before MTV was even around. And we're in Tennessee. There's a vehicle right there. Right there. Yeah, I hear music coming from down here. This is pretty cool. Still got chickens. See a big rooster? Yeah, they got music playing. Look at that old stage. Look at that. That is neat. Nice fire pit here. Nice fire pit. And then here's the garage, and I hear music coming from a garage. So I don't know if maybe people come down here and maybe they just show up here and write music together. I don't know. But let's go down and check it out. So here's a 1910 Buick. Hey guys, welcome to the Classic Auto Mall. It's in Pennsylvania, and I am standing in the middle of a former mall that has had all the stores and the whole mall taken over by classic cars. Yep, over 1,000. And we're going to bring you in here, and you're going to see every car in this mall. So it's got like a little Pro Street look to it, vintage Pro Street. And then next to them, we've got a really nice black Ford. Now this looks, let's see, automatic as well. Nice fastback. They've got a Woody here. Take a look at the Woody. Let's see, this is a 67 Ford Mustang fastback with a 390. They've got a Ford Woody here. They've got a Mercedes. They've got this little coupe here. Let's see what we got. 27 Model T. So this is kind of like the one in Lakeland that we saw. All right, guys, I am headed into the Classic Auto Mall. That's the I-76 Turnpike. Carlisle's about 35-40 minutes that way. Doylestown is about 35-40 minutes that way. There's the big sign. We're here. This whole parking lot had the 2022 Camaro Nationals here last weekend. Lanterns and carbide lights. Then we've got another one, a 1909 Doris pickup truck. Doris Motor Car Company was in 1906 in St. Louis. Last one they produced was in 1926. And this is a running driving example, the only assembled one in existence right now. Check this out. The only one right now that is known to be in existence. So this started the pickup truck craze right here. There you go. And you don't need a lift kit on this thing. It's pretty tall. Now, say you want to go camping. Well, the 1923 Chevrolet Weedman motorhome, the original slide out. This is RVs came on the scene in 1910, and during the 20s, the RV enthusiasm started to grow. This one actually has the only slide out available at the time. So check this out. This is a real RV, guys. This is one of the very first ones. It has a tent that came down off the side. This is the inside. Look, it's got a big bed, another big bed, storage space, kitchen area. It's got nice air coming up through the roof. More storage. Hey guys, there's a clue as to where I am today. Right there, Orange County Choppers. And we're not in New York though, but we're at Orange County Choppers. Hey guys, we are in the 1972 building. So everything in here is a 1972 Mopar, and we're going to take a walk through. So join us on a walk through 1972 history of Mopar. Should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.